Good morning. I'm at work today. I guess it's almost afternoon, right? So whatever. I don't know. In my drive in today, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about in this video? And I really think I want to talk about, you ever cut anybody off? Block them or cut them off or just stop talking to someone, or, you know what I mean? You go through a breakup and you're like, I don't want anything to do with this person anymore. It's kind of liberating, isn't it? I can't tell you how many times I've done this. And I really want you guys to understand this. If you have a toxic person in your life, cut it out completely, immediately. Don't even tolerate it, because it's not going to help you. It's only going to go against you. And guys, I was thinking about this because there's a few people that I've cut off who have been trying to get in touch with me lately. And I'm not sure why. Sometimes they be thinking this or that. I don't know what they're thinking. But I've cut off a lot of people recently, and I'm trying to stay in my bubble and mind my own business and leave others alone. And I've even stopped, reading the gossip stuff on, the word of mouth pages in my area and stuff like that. I can't breathe. I really feel like sometimes you need to cut people off. Now, I've cut people off in the past and then regretted it. And I hate that ever happened, but sometimes people go through toxic phases even, right? Haven't you? I have. So sometimes maybe that'll wake people up and be like, hey, you're getting kind of toxic for me. And I always think the best thing in the world is to be straight up with people and be like, listen, I can't do this anymore, or you're toxic for X, Y, and Z reasons, and I'm out. But for whatever reason, a lot of us love toxic. Why is that? Why do some of us just love toxic, right? What's the reason for that? Do we crave it somehow because we had toxic parents, or, whatever Freudian thing you want to slide in there? Or is it something deeper than that? Maybe sometimes people who are toxic, maybe even if they're toxic, it doesn't mean that they're not real people, right? And I think a lot of the times these days, we're craving real people connection because there's so many NPCs, dudes. There's so many NPCs. And we're in the sea of NPCs, and then we meet someone that gives us a glimpse of being real. And even if they are a narcissist or whatever they are, that glimpse of a real person in them, if they're not real, I don't know, but that glimpse and that connection is something we want. And so I think that's why sometimes you'll cling to a toxic person for longer than you should, because then you realize it's human that you're craving. You're craving another human, a real human. Maybe you're tired of being with an NPC. Maybe you've only been with NPCs and you don't know the difference. And this is something that shines brightly for you, There's so many things. I've been involved with toxic people, and I've always been the one to cut it off. And I've had people cut me off. Yeah, no doubt about it. But then usually they try to get back in my good graces. And at that point, I don't tolerate it. I don't have any time for people that would cut me off without even talking to me. I don't have time in my life for people like that, so I don't go back. I don't know about y'all. I really don't know. I have this other habit I do, okay? So let's say you're in a relationship with a person, right? It doesn't matter what gender or whatever you do, but you're in a relationship with this person, and this person bestows gifts upon you during the relationship. But then you end up breaking up because it's not a good thing. It's toxic for whatever reason. Well, let's think about that for a minute. There's etheric connections through physical items, even keys or keychains or necklaces or earrings and stuff like that, clothing. So in the past, when I break up with someone, I get rid of everything. I don't want your connection to me ever again. I never want to think about you. I don't want a memory of you. I don't want that imprint in my life. And so I've given jewelry away. I've dropped it off at Goodwill. I've thrown it in the trash. I've thrown it out the window. Because, I mean, it's very important to cut those ties. If you really want to cut them, you got to cut them, sever them completely. Don't play around with that. I was thinking about that the other day. I found a pair of earrings that an ex of mine gave me, and I thought about it, and I was like, I should never, ever wear those again. But I love them. They're so pretty. But I'll never wear them again, so I got to get rid of them. Then, I mean, there's all kinds of other things, guys. Like, how about, you live in a household together and you shared a bed. You want to get rid of that bed if you're no longer with that person. I mean, you don't have to do what you want to do, but I'm telling you, it might be worth the money to spend it and get a new bed so you don't have ties to that toxic person you're trying to eliminate from your life. Because you don't know, that bed could be the connection that brings them back to you or whatever. There's so many things. I remember in the past, oh my gosh, just getting all new everything. And a couple times in my life when I was in relationships and left, I just left everything. I just left it all because I don't want that shit. I would be getting new shit. I don't want that shit. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel that same way? Like, it's not worth it. Like, I don't want the memories. I don't want it. Now, sometimes I do, right? Let's say you have children together, right? I like having some pictures of, me and my son's father together when we were together for a short amount of time. I like those pictures to give to my child. And I did. I gave them to my child. It was a really good thing. So, I mean, I'm really into the idea of, cutting everything out. But my child would really appreciate those pictures. Those would be something he very well would cherish, right? So I keep that kind of stuff for him. Or if I had something that belonged to that ex, baby daddy, will ya? So I would say, here, this was your dad's. You can have it. And, I think that's the best way to do that when you have children together. I never advise having children with someone that you're not married to. I don't think it's a smart idea. To each their own. I did it twice, so I'm not one to talk, but I would never advocate for someone to have children without being married. And I would never advocate cutting someone out of your life until you're sure they're the toxic one and not you, right? What if it's you? I mean, it's been you before, hasn't it? We can all go through toxic times, and we all can get out of it. So that's a fact, too. It's not forever. You can go through a period of toxicity and then be cleansed of that and be a new person on the other side. So never feel like, this is it. Oh, I have to be this person or I have to be that person. You can change yourself any day of the week. You can be a new person every single day. So, I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to hear people whining about stuff like that. But I totally feel like cut the toxic people out of your life. Cut them out. Don't waste time with that. Cut them out. And the better things come to you. Better things will come to you. It's always the way. You'll see. You try, you'll see. You'll see. Trust me.